Hello and welcome to the show. I am Joe Tophat. When I first heard that Netflix was making a series based off of Green Eggs and Ham, I thought it was going to suck. The book only has 50 words. How were they going to stretch it out for an entire series? At the time, I thought Netflix should have done a series where they adapted Dr. Seuss's work. Each episode could have been an adaptation of a different Dr. Seuss book. They could have done episodes on his famous work, like The Cat in the Hat, and his lesser-known work, like those stories he did for magazines. Since Netflix doesn't make too many episodes a season, they could have run it for a long time. But no. Netflix chose to adapt one book, Green Eggs and Ham, for an entire series. To top it off, it's been said to be the most expensive animated series ever made. When I first started watching the show, I was prepared to hate it. I thought I was going to make a video telling you guys how bad it is, that you should avoid it at all costs, and stick with the short Dr. Seuss made in the 70s. Then something unexpected happened. I ended up loving Netflix's Green Eggs and Ham. How could this be? How could something that sounded like a bad idea turn out so good? To answer this question, I should tell you what the show is about. There will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the show yet, click out of the video immediately and go watch it. Obviously, Sam I Am is trying to get someone to try Green Eggs and Ham, but there is so much more going on. Sam steals a rare bird called the chickaraff from the zoo. His goal is to return him to his natural habitat. As for the other character, who is named Guy M.I., he is a failed inventor who decides to work as a paint watcher. Sam and Guy meet at a diner, where Sam orders green eggs and ham for everyone. Guy, on the other hand, doesn't want to try it, and instead orders the Sad Man Special. I love the name of his meal. It's funny and sad at the same time. Guy and Sam accidentally grab the wrong briefcase. As you might have guessed, this leads to them going on the run. They are pursued by the bad guys, McWrinkle, an old veteran who is going to retire, and his young partner Glunts. McWrinkle and Glunts are similar to Guy and Sam. Like Guy, McWrinkle is gruff. Like Sam, Glunts is energetic and optimistic. A run-on gag throughout the series is whenever something bad happens, McWrinkle's blue fur starts to turn gray. Other characters are Snurds, an arrogant businessman who wants the chickaraff, who is named Mr. Jenkins, as part of his collection. His assistant is named Yes Man. I love that name. There's also a little old bean counter named Michelle, who works for Snurds, and her daughter E.B. E.B. longs to go off on an adventure, but her mom is overprotective. That might be an understatement, for Michelle is so overprotective, she bubble wraps her car and forces E.B. to wear a magnetic bracelet. Throughout the series, Michelle and E.B. encounter Guy and Sam. Sam encourages E.B.'s adventurous side. She even tries to help them hide Mr. Jenkins. As for Guy and Michelle, they slowly start to develop a romance. Normally, I hate it when an adaptation includes a romance that wasn't in the book. But I admit I enjoy Guy's and Michelle's relationship. Michelle doesn't trust Guy at first. In fact, there are many instances throughout the show where she doesn't trust him. Especially finding out that Guy and Sam are hiding Mr. Jenkins. But there is no denying that they share a bond. They both have a lot in common. They don't like going off on some adventure. They are fond of mundane things. Their attitude hurts the people around them. Michelle's overprotective nature is suffocating her daughter. And Guy's pessimism causes people to see him as sad. And they both gave up on their dreams, but for different reasons. Michelle in her younger days was an artist. After the death of her husband, she gave it up to raise E.B. It helps explain why she's so overprotective. Guy, on the other hand, spent many years trying to be an inventor. As creative as his inventions are, they always end up blowing up. After years of disappointment, he decides to give it all up to become a paint watcher. It's left him a bitter man. What hurts most was that he was voted most likely to succeed back in high school, but he just can't seem to make it. I love how Green Eggs and Ham shows that giving up on your dream isn't always a bad thing. Michelle did it to take care of her daughter, and I find no fault in that. She has no regrets and loves her daughter dearly. In the case of Guy, he's doing it because he's discouraged, which I think a lot of people would see as a bad thing. It's surprising how complex this show is, considering the source material. Now for Sam, I am. Much like his book counterpart, he loves Green Eggs and Ham. There is a reason why he loves it, besides the taste. His mom fed it to him when he was a kid. She had him sent to an orphanage for whatever reason. He keeps eating them in an effort to find her. Wow. That's pretty deep. Much like a Pixar movie, there is a twist villain. You see, Sam was working for Snurds the whole time, to bring them Mr. Jenkins. Sam is a well-known con man who goes by several aliases. McWinkle and Gluntz are in reality trying to bring Mr. Jenkins back to the zoo. They work for a place called the Bad Guys, which is an acronym for Bureau of Animal Defense Glucksburg Upper Ypville Section. They really need to rethink their acronym. I admit I didn't see the twist coming, but they do drop hints throughout the season that Sam isn't who he claims to be. He tells Guy he's an animal expert, even though he knows nothing about animals. Also, before revealing he grew up in the orphanage, Sam would tell Guy stories about his mom that never happened. In the end, Sam does the right thing by sending Mr. Jenkins home. The season ends where he finally found Green Eggs and Ham that taste like his mother's. I actually want to see Sam find her. This series shouldn't work, but it does. The idea of taking a 50-word book and expand it to an entire series sounds like a stupid idea. But Netflix's Green Eggs and Ham executes it very well. So, I highly recommend you check this series out. If you don't think you'll like it, remember the message from the book. You'll never know what you'll like unless you give it a try. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.